Hello, everybody. Willie Mayette, creator of Jazz Edge, and I want to welcome you to Christmas Bootcamp 2020. We got a lot of stuff to cover today, so thank you very much for joining me. I'm not going to say hello to everybody because I got people all over the place, so just know that I am saying hello to you. I am wishing you a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful holiday. I know 2020 has been very challenging for all of us with this pandemic, but it's almost over. So happy holiday. All right, so let's get started. We are going to be doing Jingle Bells 3 ways. So I'm going to show you 3 different versions of Jingle Bells. I know some of you have asked about the sheet music. Just hang with me and I'll explain where you can get the sheet music and when. So today we're going to be doing an easy version of Jingle Bells. All right. If you want to ask a question, go ahead and use the chat function in Zoom, or if you're on YouTube or Facebook, you can go ahead and just type in a question. All right, I will be answering questions at the end. All right, so to get the sheet music, just go back to jazzedge.com/live. Let me show you just real quickly what that's going to look like. All right, and right here. Okay, so you can go right over here, jazzedge.com/live. You see we have a sale going on, right? So if you're interested in signing up for a membership, now is a great time to do it because this will be the last sale for this year, and this sale will not be coming back for a while. So this is today's session right here. So obviously you've clicked on join the session. To watch the replay, just go ahead and click on watch the replay, and that's going to take you to another page. You can go ahead and download the sheet music and everything there. Let me show you just real quickly what that's going to look like. That's going to look like this. This is going to get replaced with the video once we're done here today. And then you'll just go ahead and click here to download the resources. Okay. The resources are not going to be available. Not all resources are going to be available for everyone, right? So some of the resources are going to be saved just for my Jazz Christmas music members. If you're a Jazz Edge member or Noble Piano member, same deal applies, all right? So it's going to be in the Jazz Christmas music. So if you haven't signed up for Jazz Christmas music, you can do that right now at 50% off. All right, so moving on, let's move on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play our arrangement of Jingle Bells, today's arrangement right now for you, top to bottom, just so you can hear what it sounds like. All right, and what I'm going to do is I got this really cool play along track that we are going to play along with. All right, so let me go ahead and put that on. We'll do the whole thing. And it goes on from there. All right, so we already know a lot of that, so we can just go ahead and get there when we get there. All right, so like I said, this is going to be the easiest version of the song. Okay, so if you're looking for something a little bit more intermediate or advanced, we'll check out tomorrow's session and Thursday's session, because those are going to be, we're going to bump it up from there. Okay, so this is just session number 1. All right, so let's do a quick review first. This is, again, for my students that are kind of brand new to the piano. So if you're more intermediate advanced, just bear with me as I go through this information. All right, first of all, this is called our clef. This is a G clef. It circles around that G line. So the second line up is a G. So that note right here, that is a G note. See how it's on the second line? That is a G note, okay? This is called our time signature. The top number tells us how many beats per minute. The bottom number tells us what kind of a rhythm is going to equal 1 beat. So this means that there are going to be 4 beats per measure, and then the bottom number is telling us that it is a quarter. I think I said how many beats per minute, not beats per minute. I'm sorry, beats per measure. Okay, so the top number is telling us that there are 4 beats per measure, and this 4 at the bottom means that the quarter note equals 1 beat. So 4/4 time. Very typical. This is our melody, okay? Just on this line, this is the melody of the song. These are the lyrics of the song, okay? This is the measure number, and these are measures. So you see this is measure 5, this would be measure 6, measure 7, measure 8. These right here are called bar lines, all right? And then those bar lines separate out the measure. So from here to here is one whole measure. And then finally, these are our chord symbols, which it's going to make more sense once we start getting into that. And we are going to start here. A great place to start is with the melody and the roots of the chords only. I'm going to show you the arrangement that I just played, but first we're going to start with melody and chords only. This is what we would call a lead sheet, right? And a collection of lead sheets are usually found in what we call a fake book, right? You're faking the arrangement, right? So this lead sheet has just chords and melody. So where we start, first of all, is just playing the melody of the song. Now, I'm starting with the chorus first. You could start with the verse first, which is the dashing through the snow. If you want to start there, okay? I've seen different arrangements do different things. I start with the chorus on this tune because Jingle Bells, Jingle Bells, that's kind of like what everybody knows and everybody wants to play, so we start there first. But just know you could flip that if you want to. All right, so the first part of the song is great because fingering-wise and even note-wise because it's all within the 5-finger scale, the C major 5-finger scale. So start, first of all, by just playing that scale up and down. Thumb on C, going up to your pinky, coming back down. Okay, so make sure when you do that, it's always a great place to start. You know, just play it nice and slow. It's also a nice way to warm up your fingers, and if you want, you can do that in both hands. Right, always a great warm up, especially when it's cold outside. It's a nice warm up to do that. All right, so now you'll see that we are starting with 3. See that 3 right there over this note? That means we're going to put our middle finger, right? 3, remember it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so 3 goes on the E here, and it's jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Right? So just start by playing that first line. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go line by line with you, and we're going to do it as kind of like a play along, right? So I'm going to play it, and you can play it along with me. I'm going to play like just my roots in the left hand. Don't worry about the left hand. Just focus on that right hand. So let's do that first line 4 times. You can play it along with me. Ready? And go. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. 2, try it again. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. 2 more times, go. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Now, if you don't have a piano in front of you, just try tapping the rhythm. It's a great way of making sure you get that rhythm down. Last time, here we go. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. 2, 3, 4. All right, now let's move on to the next line here. You're going to be putting your 4th finger on the F. How do I know 4th finger? Well, again, 5-finger scale, right? 4th finger goes right in that F. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a 1-horse open sleigh. Hey, okay? So that's our next line. Just do the right hand. I'll do the single notes in the left hand. Okay, here we go. Measure 5. Ready? Go. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a 1-horse open sleigh. Hey, do it again. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a 1-horse open sleigh. Hey, again. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, last time. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, remember, all 5-finger scale. Okay, moving on. Now I'm not going to bother to go through this, break it down 4 times. I'll play it for you. It's pretty much the same thing except for right down here. So let me play it for you. Jingle bells, we know all this. Jingle bells, jingle all the way to measure 13. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a, now this is different, one-horse open sleigh. And that's 5, 5, 4, 2, 1. 5, 5, 4, 2, 1. One-horse open sleigh. Okay. All right. So now let's keep moving on. Now let's move on to the verse. So this, dashing through the snow. You see the fingering right up above there? 1 and 5. So dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. I'd put my thumb on the A here. Okay. Okay. So let's do that line. Dashing through the snow. 2, 3. In a one-horse open sleigh. 2, 3, 4. Let's do that again. Here we go. Dashing through the snow. 2, 3. In a one-horse open sleigh. All right, good. You should be able to get that. That's not too difficult. And if you want a pattern to practice, this is the pattern. You can just kind of like play that. Just kind of get into that finger position. All right, measure 21. Over the fields we go. And I put my thumb on the B here as well, because I'm going to come up to the pinky on the G. Laughing all the way. It goes up. See how it goes up to the E there. So let's do measure 21. Let's do this bottom line a couple of times. Here we go. Over the fields we go. Laughing all the way to, try it again. Over the fields we go. 2, 3, 4. Laughing all the way. Ha, ha, again. Over the fields we go. 2, 3, 4. Laughing all the way. Okay. Now, in tomorrow's session, I'm going to share with you a couple of little tidbits I learned about Jingle Bells. So be sure to join in tomorrow's session, which will be at the same time as well. And I will share those that little trivia with you. All right. Next, last 2 lines here. So bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. Okay, what fun. And then we come up here. So I think measure 25, I think this line, you should be able to get this because it's not really that much different than this other line right here. Okay, this other top line. So let's just do measure 25 and do this top line one more time, and then we'll move on. Bells on bobtail ring. And then thumb, pinky, 4, 3, 1. All right, now let's move on to measure 29. Do the pickup. What fun. All right, measure 29. And then we come up to our 4th finger on the F. Fun it is to, then check this out. Ride and sing. 4th finger, then up to pinky. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5. All right, so let's do this measure 29 to the end a couple of times. Also note in here, you can go 5, 5, 5, 4, or you can even switch to your 4th finger anywhere that you want within here, wherever it feels comfortable. You could go 5, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 4, 5, 5, 4, 4, like whatever feels comfortable. So measure 29 to the end a couple of times. Fun it is to ride. Sorry, let me do that again. Fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, again. Fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, one more time. fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Now, let me show you like kind of like a more traditional, kind of classical-esque way of approaching the fingering on this measure. So a lot of times in more traditional classical music, you won't see it just go 5, 5, 5, 4, 5, right? Instead, you might see 5, 4, 3, 4, 5. So each one of those repeated notes has a different finger underneath it. Well, why is that? Because when you do like, it's real easy to like kind of get into this karate chop thing. It's real easy to make those notes start to sound harsh. And it's real easy for those notes to all sound exactly alike. And it gets to sound very monotone like that. So it's like, right? So instead, by switching these fingers, you get just a little bit of a change. This is a little bit more of an advanced concept, but it is a good concept to practice. I'm going 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 4. So you see how I'm switching that? Make sure your hand is not open like this, you know. Make sure your fingers are in tight. Or they don't have to be super tight, but closer, right? Just make sure your hand is not open, and it's going to create a lot of tension there. All right, so anyway, that's your melody. Should be relatively simple to be able to do that. Now, what you want to do is you want to go back and you want to play all of the roots of the chord on each chord, right? So this right here, the root would be C, right? And then you might come here and say, hey, wait a second, Willie, there's no chord listed. And when there's no chord listed, you continue to play the last chord that you played. Now, if you take a look at the iReal Pro, you'll see this kind of stuff here, right? You see like, see these symbols here, like the slash with the dots? This means to repeat the previous measure. So this right here means that you're going to repeat that measure, all right? So that means it's still going to be C, 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 then F, C, G, whoops, all right, G, and then this would be G again. Okay, so let's try doing it just real easy with, you can do octaves in the left hand if you want, or a single note in the left hand is fine as well. Is it that C? Is it this C? Is it this C? It's really completely up to you. I'd probably avoid this C way down here. I'd pick one of these. If you want, if you're a more advanced player, you can kind of switch back and forth between them, completely up to you. But I will tell you this, and I will tell you where a lot of students end up getting a bit frustrated and getting themselves into trouble is that they think, yeah, whatever. I can play Jingle Bells, the melody, and then do the chords, and it'll be like, yeah, like Jingle Bells, Jingle Bells, Jingle yeah, and they're like messing it up. They don't really know it. And the problem is that's like now building a house on sand. And what I mean by that is if you can't play the melody perfectly with single note roots in the left hand, then you really have no business adding on chords or anything more advanced than that, right? Because if you try adding on chords and you don't already have the melody with the single note bass line, then you're going to be stacking this stuff on top when that foundation isn't there. So the foundation should be like this. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. 2, 3, 4. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. 2, 3, 4. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Okay, and then dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. Over the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle, and then you go back into the song from there, okay? Now, before I move on, the last question you might have is, well, when do I play the root, right? So obviously you play the root when you see the chord or on each measure, right? So if I go back, let me just go back to this. Right here, I'm not just going to play C and then, right, and do nothing down there. No, I could play C on each measure. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Okay. Whoops, actually, that was that one. All right. So I play that root on each measure. If I want to add some more rhythm to it, sure, knock yourself out. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells. Hey, you can have a lot of fun just playing around with the roots and the melody. Point, though, is that you want to make sure that you really have that mastered before you move on. All right, now let's review the chords. All right. Joe asked a question, does the Christmas course have easy sheet music as well as more advanced? Yes, in Jazz Christmas Music, I have some easier arrangements as well as some more advanced arrangements. This lesson is going to go on Jazz Christmas Music as well. So once this lesson is done, it's being recorded right now, then you can go ahead and grab it right in the Jazz Christmas Music area as well. Okay, so that will be available for you also. All right, so let's review these chords. So these are the three chords that we're going to be using for the chorus. That's our C chord, our F chord, our G chord, and our C chord. Okay? I'm not going to get into how the chords are made. Basically, it's the 1, 3, 5 off of the major scale, right? So there's your F, there's your G. If you need help with that, take a look at my Piano Essentials program back at Jazz Edge. All right, so C major chord, what you're going to do is move up the top two notes to your F chord. So on C, it's pinky, middle, thumb. Make sure you're grabbing in. Notice what I'm doing with my pinky and my thumb, how I'm grabbing in. I'm not pushing down, I'm grabbing in. These three fingers basically grab down. This grabs in, those three grab down. In, down, okay? So my C chord, and then the F chord, I come up and I use my thumb, my second finger, and my pinky. For my G chord, I come down here. I use my thumb, middle finger, pinky, G chord, and then C chord. For those of you that are wondering, this is C in root position. This is F in second inversion. This is G in first inversion, and then back to C. Okay, F chord, root, first, second inversion. G chord, root, first inversion, second inversion. Okay, so first inversion there, then back to C. Okay, for the verse, we're doing just root 5 chords. So that makes it actually even easier. So C and G, F and C, and G and D. Now, a lot of times you will see this just written as C, F, G, C, and that's the way that you're going to see it written in the chord symbol in in the music. But sometimes I want to put this in here because sometimes you'll see it written as C5, and that means play C, the root, and the fifth. Okay, so if you happen to see these chord symbols like this, then that's what that means. You may very well just see it written as C without the 5, F without the 5, G without the 5 as well. Okay, so and then this is a good arranging technique because this allows you to be able to play this chord way down here without it sounding too muddy. That doesn't sound good, but this sounds good. Now, in case you're wondering, you might also wonder, so you have your C, your F, and your G. Some of you have also learned G like that, right? That's a G7 chord. You could play it like that as well. Adding in the 7th is going to add a little bit more tension, a little bit more bite, but you could definitely do that. There would be nothing wrong with that. And then there's nothing to say that you can't also like start to add in other notes like the 6th if you wanted to. On the F chord, maybe add in the 9. On the G, do the full 7th chord. So you could kind of play around with all of that. Now, for this, I'm trying to keep it easy. So if what I just said there was like, what are you talking about, Willie? Don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about that stuff for right now. But if you know these other chords and you've already been utilizing them, absolutely, go ahead and try bringing those into your playing, of course. All right, so let's learn the entire song after a quick sip of coffee. So left hand is going to be C major triad, right? So we have jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. 2, 3, 4. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on that iReal Pro track, okay? And for those of you that are members of Jazz Christmas Music, you're going to get the iReal Pro track. You'll also get the download of the audio version. So if you don't have iReal Pro, you can at least play with the audio version of the backing track, right? But a lot of fun stuff playing along with these tracks. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this on. We're going to loop this and just play this. Let's do it again. Again. Remember, you can always try just doing the left hand by itself or the right hand. So if you're having trouble putting it together, just do the right hand with me. And then the next time around, just go ahead and do the left hand. All right, so that's relatively simple. I know if you're brand new to the piano, that might be a little bit challenging, but trust me, if you work on this just for even a few minutes to an hour, you can definitely get it down, right? All right, so now let's do the next section, okay? So let me play it for you first of all. So fourth finger, oh, what fun it is. Now, when you play this, there's going to be some tension that's created, but then it gets resolved. And the same thing there on the G. Okay? So that tension that gets created when this F comes in on that C chord, it gets resolved. Now, as you get better, there's different things you could do. You could still play the F chord there and then resolve to the C. So you could do like, oh, what fun it is to ride in a one. Right, so see how I came in? I played F here, and then I played C on beat 3. So if you want, if that tension is a little too jarring for your ears, then no, you could just hang on that F chord. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Okay, all right, but let's play it as written here. Okay, so oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey. All right, let's play it along with the track. Ready? Go. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Last time. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, all right, great job. Let's move on now. Next section, pretty simple. We already know this, jingle bells, jingle all the way, right? So that's exactly the same as this first section right here, so I'm not going to go through and play that again. You could just rewind and watch that again if you want. All right, let's go through this. It's pretty much the same as well, but I'm just going to play it. We'll do it 3 times. Here we go. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. To try it again. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Last time. Oh, what fun it is to ride ride in the one-horse open sleigh. 2, 3, 4. All right, so you could stop right there, right? So you could do that much right there and then call it a day, right? So you could just play the chorus and never get into that verse section if you want to, right? So completely up to you. If you're trying to like, yeah, I understand holidays, busy, you're shopping, whatever, you know, and it's, you know, if you don't have a lot of time to practice or you want to get something together, just see if you can get the chords together along with that simple melody up to there. Now, I guarantee you could do it. I showed my 11-year-old daughter, Annika, how to do that, and she got it down within a day. So I guarantee that you could definitely learn that. If you take a couple of hours, you'll have it down, no problem. All right. Now, if you do want to go on to the verse, here's the verse. Right. So we've already been through the melody. You'll notice what we're doing here in the left hand is playing the root 5, right? But now in half notes. So it's dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. Okay, so let's just focus on that. Let's do that section. We'll do it 3 times. 2, ready, go. Oh, and remember that if you're having difficulty playing it, just do just the right hand or the left hand. It's fine. Oh, I don't know why this thing keeps doing that to me here. All right, so you could play just the left hand or play the right hand. Again, dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. Again, dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. All right, good. Relatively simple there as well. Not too bad, okay? Let's get on to the next section here. We have over the fields we go, up to the G, right? Laughing all the way. Ha, ha, ha. Over the fields we go. Laughing all the way. Can't help but to laugh there. I don't know why. All right, so let's go ahead and practice that now. Here we go. Over the fields we go, laughing all the way. Ha, ha, ha. Over the fields we go, laughing all the way. 2, 3, last time. Over the fields we go, laughing all the way. 2, 3, 4. All right, nice job. Let's move on now. We're almost to the end. So this is pretty much the same as the first part. The only difference is there's no little pickup here. Okay, so this next section, bells on bobtail ring, right? Making spirits bright. What fun. Okay, and that little pickup right here is new as well. All right, so let's just go through this section 2 times. I think that should be more than enough for you. All right, here we go. Bobtails on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What bells on bobtail ring? A little bit weird, right? To like do that repeat. Spirits. Do it one more last time. What bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What? All right, very good. And finally, the last line here. Right? Let's go through this. Fun. It, 4th finger, is. Fun. It is to ride, pinky, and sing 4 sleighing song tonight. Oh, so measure 29 again. Fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, all right, let's do that with the band. We're going to do this one 4 times. Fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Last time. Fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, and then we go through the whole thing. Now, a question you might have is, hey, Willie, can I just put my 4th finger there right from the get-go and never hit 5 and just go from 2 up to 4? Sure, that's not that bad of a stretch. Most of you should be able to do that. So if you wanted to do that, that would be fine, going from 2 up to 4. So fun it is to ride, and then just hit your 4th finger there. The other thing you could do is you could also hit your middle finger on F. Fun it is to, and then see how you get your thumb there, and then your 4th finger is perfectly situated for the G. So there are always different options on how to approach the fingering of the song. So it's really dependent upon your hand size, what you feel comfortable with. You could do what's written here. That will work pretty much for 99% of people. But if you find that you want to do some tweaks here or there, absolutely. Of course, you can always go ahead through and do some tweaks. All right, so let's just talk real quickly now about a couple of different advanced kind of concepts that you can do, right? Now, for those of you that are interested in how do I play this and accompany myself while singing, I'm going to cover that tomorrow, right? So be sure to join in on tomorrow's session, and I will talk about that at the beginning of the session, right? But let's just talk a little bit more advanced stuff. Now, the big gotcha and the caveat and the warning here is, like, if you are a beginner, then don't worry about this other stuff right now, okay? Like, you take a listen to it, kind of let it wash over you, but do not feel as though you have to be doing this, right? You don't have to do this. It's absolutely fine. All right, so first thing is, when you go in and you're playing these chords, right, you're just holding out the chords and you're holding them out for like a whole measure. Well, you can start to add some rhythm in there. Well, what kind of rhythm? Well, maybe you do something like this. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. 2, 3, 4, oh, right? So, I mean, you could do something like that where you start to add in a little bit more rhythm into the chords. What rhythm? Completely up to you. I would say, though, start with your quarter notes, right? Just quarter notes or half notes or whole notes, right? So play them as a whole note like they are, or do half notes or add in quarter notes, and that would be your fastest rhythm that you add in the left hand. I wouldn't add any eighth notes at this point. Now, you can also break these chords up and kind of do like a pa, pa. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Okay? If you want to make it even faster, you can make that quarter notes. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Okay? So that's a little bit more advanced right there to break it up like that. Now, you can also mix concepts together. So we just did jingle all the way. Look what happens when I go to the F. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey. So when I went to the F, I did quarter notes just on the octaves. Then it's same thing on the C. And then when I went into the G, I did the pa feel right there. Now, you might say, wait a second. On the G chord, you went down to a root position G chord, Willie. Why did you do that? Why not just do this? Because the pa doesn't really work well with chords in an inversion. Why? Because the whole idea of the pa is that part is the root. You could also say root, chord, pa, root, chord, or root, rest of the chord, root, rest of the chord, because you don't do this. You don't go pa, you don't play the C again. You go pa, pa, pa. All right. Now, when you get into the verse here, this is another very handy accompaniment pattern as well. Just root 5, root 5. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. Over the fields we go. That's another you could do. You could go root, root, 5th, root. So there's all different patterns that you could try messing around with. It's really just kind of up to your own imagination. But I would start with that one. Root 5, root 5, root. And you see that I'm playing them kind of short, not quite staccato. I'm not playing them staccato, but I'm just kind of like detaching them a little bit. All right, so that's some of the more advanced concepts, that you could try applying to Jingle Bells. Right now, like I said, there are many different things that we can do, and in tomorrow's session, I'm going to show you how to accompany yourself while singing it, or if you want to accompany yourself while someone else is playing the melody. All right, and then we're also going to do a fun second, rendition of this, a second version of this, okay? All right, so if you have questions, go ahead and use the chat right now. While I'm waiting for some questions to come in, I want to remind you again about the how to get the sheet music and also about the sale as well that's going on. So first of all, what you want to do is you want to go back to jazzedge.com/live. I know it's kind of hard to read that up there, but see that jazzedge.com/live. Okay, and then a couple of things here that you'll see on this page. Number one, you can go ahead and play this video, and that's me in my silly little ugly holiday sweater. All right, so the session links and replay are right below the video. This right here, this is the sale timer. So that means once this gets down to 0, this whole page goes away. All of the replays, all the sheet music, all the resources, everything like that, all of that is going to go away. Unless you are a Jazz Christmas Music member, okay? Now, Jazz Christmas Music is a lifetime membership. You can get it for 50% off right now, and it's basically $99. I can tell you this, that if you're interested in Jazz Christmas Music, this is the year to get it, because now that I am adding more material to it, the price will likely go up next year. Right, with Jingle Bells 3 Ways, that's going to be many more hours of content added to the site. So for all of those, new students to Jazz Christmas Music, thank you very much. Thank you for ordering that and becoming a member of that. This Jingle Bells 3 Ways is my bonus to you and my holiday present to you and Christmas present to you for being a member of the site. So if you're interested in getting access to it, this is a great time to do it because, like I said, the price on that site is likely going to go up in 2021 since more content is being added. Jazz Edge, that's my main site. So jazzedge.com, if you're not familiar with what it is that I do, that's where all of my lessons are. There's over 760 hours of content on that site. I'm constantly adding new material onto that site. So we got the Confident Improviser, new materials coming out there every single week for that. And you can get it as low as $29 per month. That is billed annually. All right, so just click on any of these links to learn more. Same thing with No Bowl Piano. No Bowl Piano is a smaller subset of the Jazz Edge lessons. And then you could go ahead and click there and it kind of gives you a little bit more of an explanation. But basically, No Bowl Piano, a lot of students start with No Bowl Piano and then they upgrade from there. So you can always start with No Bowl Piano and then upgrade to Jazz Edge later. Question I get asked a lot is, well, if I decide to upgrade to Jazz Edge at a later time, can I get that sale price? And the answer is no. I mean, it's like you'll be able to get whatever price it is right now. There is one workaround, and if you're interested in that workaround, you want to start at No Bowl Piano and then upgrade to Jazz Edge later for the sale price, write into us, all right? And then to write in, just click on where it says help right there, and then scroll down to where it says contact, and you can go ahead and contact us right there. And by the way, when I say us, it's me or it's Jamie who's answering those tickets. So remember that we are a family business. You're reaching us directly. So then what you do is you click on tomorrow, click on join session at 10 a.m. And then to watch the replays, like I said, replays are right on this page. So this replay will be up here momentarily after we are done with the session. Click here to go back to the replay page. Click there to download the resources. And then you can click there, and that takes you to the sale page. On the sale page, you'll see all of the different sale options: Jazz Edge membership, Noble Piano membership. Okay, and if you click here, it tells you a little bit more about what the differences are. Okay, and then Jazz Christmas Music Lifetime Access. And there are some FAQs down here, which if you have a question, go ahead and take a look at that first before writing in. The question might be answered already. And last thing I want to remind you is that not all of the resources are going to be available for free. All right, all of the videos will be available for free, and some of the resources like sheet music will be available for free, or parts of it. I'm not quite sure exactly how much is going to be there, but that will be up there later on today. But you're more than welcome to check out the videos and join me for all of the training. You also get the sheet music right in the screen as well. So it's you got a lot there as a holiday bonus for you. Okay. All right. So let's see what we got here for questions. Oh, Jerry, thank you very much. Said, thanks, Willie. Christmas site is great. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So Joe asks, oh yeah, can I play the G chord as B, F, and G if I play the seventh, with the seventh fit? So yeah, so let me go back here for a second, and let's just go to the lead sheet part of it. Yeah, I'll do it right in here. All right, so now I can play the, right? F, C, so now the question is, does that fit? Well, if I play it here, right, it doesn't sound all that great. But check out what I could do. I could go G. So you see on here, on hey, then I can bring in that seventh right there. Okay. Hey. So that seventh I can bring in on this note right here. Maybe I could play it on here as well. But this is where you're going to kind of use your ears and start to figure out, like, well, do I like the sound of that or not? Let's say you're a little bit more of an advanced player and you're like, oh, I'm going to use seventh chords. Well, what about using a C major seventh? Right? You got to kind of use your ears and say, do I really like the sound of that? Me personally, I don't really like the sound of that. What I want, dominant. I mean, you could, but I don't really dig the sound of that either. I think the C6 or just your basic triads. Remember this too, when you're playing these kind of like folk-like holiday songs, and I say holiday versus Christmas because it doesn't necessarily have to be a Christmas song. Like in many ways, Jingle Bells is not really a Christmas song per se. It doesn't mention Christmas or anything like that. It's really kind of like a more holiday song. But, you know, if you're doing even like Dreidel, 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 or, you know, a Kwanzaa song or whatever, you know, a lot of times those more folky kind of holiday songs don't really lend themselves that great to those seventh chords. It starts to sound a little bit like, you know, no. It sounds a little too jazzy, you know, or pop-like. So a lot of times it's just playing triads, but it's like kind of breaking up those triads so you get like a lot of like the root 5 and the 3, you know, like so root 5, root 5, root 3, you know. You know, it's just making the chord bigger, but it's still at its core is still a, you know, it's still triadic based. Let's see here. Okay, so I've got a few people who keep asking, where do I get the sheet music? All right, so let me go back and explain that again. So what you want to do is you want to go back here, jazzedge.com/live. All right, so jazzedge.com/live, jazzedge.com/live, right? And then that is going to take you to this site, okay? jazzedge.com/live takes you right here, okay? And you're going to see Christmas Bootcamp 2020 right at the top. So all you do is scroll down, okay, and then click on this right here where it says watch the replay, and that's going to take you to this first replay, okay? And then right here where it says download resources, once all of that is up there later on today, you can get all of that right there. Why do I not send out the sheet music ahead of time? Because a lot of times there's a couple reasons. Number one is sometimes things end up changing. Like I end up altering the sheet music based on the lesson when I'm giving it. Number two, I really want you to just focus on what it is that I'm saying right now, and then you can grab the sheet music later. Right. So, and then number three, sometimes, students, they just grab the sheet music and they never show up to the live stuff and they miss out on that opportunity to ask questions. So it's kind of like a way of like really kind of making sure that you guys see the live stuff and then ask your questions. But this is how you get the resources. It's right here. It's going to be up there momentarily after this live session is done. Give me about an hour and it should be up there. Okay. Joe, how many tunes are in the Christmas chorus? So if you go to jazzchristmasmusic.com and you scroll on down, there's a couple of things you're going to see. Number one, you'll see some sheet music examples. There's also a lot of different video examples. These are all different video examples here that you could take a look at and just kind of see, how difficult is it and if it makes sense to you. This is some stuff of what you're going to be learning, okay? All this stuff, adding fills, rhythm, shells, triads, how to determine what chords to play, bass line accompaniments, reharmonization, how to accompany yourself or others using these techniques, right? And then down here, you could see a list of the different songs that are found on the site. Jingle Bells is going to be added to this. I'm pretty sure that that's all of them. There might be one other one that's in here that's not on this list. Okay. And then also I want to remind you that you have a no hassle guarantee. It is not a money back guarantee. To be quite honest with you, it's like I don't do that because I put a lot of time and effort into all of this sheet music, and I've basically been burnt in the past where like students have signed up, they download all the sheet music and all of my arrangements that I worked so hard at, and they're like, I would like a refund. So instead what I do is you have a full credit. So if you find that hey, this Christmas site is not for me, go ahead and write in within 30 days, and I'm happy to give everything that you've paid dollar for dollar at Jazz Christmas Music, and then it could be shifted over to download credits. And then that means that you could get onto the Jazz Edge site, you could download whatever lesson that you want. The download credits, just to give you an idea, it's about $30 a lesson is what the download credit is. So this would give you about 3 download credits. You'd be able to download 3 lessons off the Jazz Edge site if you were not happy with this and wanted a refund. Okay. And you'll see normally it's $199. All right. So right now, so if you order at Jazz Christmas Music, you're going to be paying $199. Do not order at Jazz Christmas Music. Instead, order right here. That takes you to your sale page, and you'll see it right here, $99. All you do is click on this, go ahead and put in your name and email address, and that gets you started. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. All right. I think we got all of the questions answered. All right. So like I said, today was just a start. Okay. So today was just the start of the Jingle Bells 3 ways. We're going to be doing, some more advanced arrangements. This is the easiest arrangement for the song that we're going to go through. Okay. So if this was hard for you, well, then maybe tomorrow's session, it might be even a little bit more difficult for you. I still encourage you to attend though, because you can ask your questions. Now's a great time to be able to ask your questions of me live. So if you have any questions on any of this Christmas stuff, anything that we're talking about in the lesson, feel free to chat in and ask. But tomorrow's session, we're going to be going through a jazz rendition. In the next session on Thursday, we're going to be going through kind of like a klezmer kind of feel to it. And then finally, next week, we're going to talk about some improvisation. All right, so we got a lot to cover. There's a lot of material left ahead of us. I want to remind you that the sale ends on Thursday, December 31st. Like I said, it is really no joke. When this timer reaches 0, this page literally comes down, and these links will no longer be available to be able to order the membership. Right? So if you're interested in signing up at a discount and locking in those rates, well, now is the time to do it, and you can do all of it right here. So this is your page for the next few days of training. Okay, so anyway, thank you guys very much for joining me today, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. All right, thanks, guys. Hey, Neil, I don't know if you still happen to be on, but Neil had a question here. I want to answer this question. How about a D major chord on the G of the 7th measure? Yeah, so there's all different kinds of like harmonizations and reharmonizations that we can do. So Neil's saying put a D chord here. You could put like a D minor chord there, or even a D7 chord there, and then go to the G. The reason that I didn't do that is because I wanted this easy rendition to be only 3 chords. All right, but yeah, that's a great question, and you're absolutely right. I'm sorry that I missed it. It was in the Q&A section. I did not think to check that, so I'll make sure that I check that tomorrow. All right, so that's it. Thanks, guys.